Finding vegan food is hard enough in war-torn Iraq. Starting a plant-based meal delivery service is a whole other challenge. Ranja Ali is doing it in a place where most people prefer meat and most investors wouldn't dare park their money.
This is one of literally the hardest places in the world to launch a business, but there are people doing it.
A nonprofit incubator called 51 Labs is convincing international investors to take the leap and fund startups here despite the challenges.
Go back in.
I'll just take a picture.
We visit 3 young entrepreneurs launching businesses in food, fashion, and art. Seven years after fleeing the Syrian civil war, Zenara Ahmed is building a business, leading art classes in her adopted homeland.
أنا بتذكر إنه أول لحظة لما أجيت فيها على إقليم كردستان لما قال لي موظف المطار يعني بخيربة كانت يعني وقع هاي الكلمة بقلبي كتير كبير يعني.
Bravo. Yeah.
With $1,000 in seed funding from 51 Labs, Zenara launched Sev Gallery in 2018, with hopes to heal her new city Erbil and herself through art.
أنت لما بتصير لاجئ وبتنتقل يعني من مكان لمكان بيضل إنه أنت بداخلك في شيء يعني ما مستقر.
Even for Iraqis, almost every part of life is touched by war. That's why 51 Labs is designed to help entrepreneurs affected by conflict.
We think a lot about trauma and the effects of trauma on the way people learn. In the way we design our programs, we try to make it really conflict sensitive.
Alice Bosley moved here from the US in 2017, and with the help of her Columbia University classmate Patricia Latif, she has helped launch 50 startups in this part of Iraq.
They go through a pretty intensive application process, including boot camps and kind of different things where we can actually watch them in action. We take the most impressive entrepreneurs out of that group of people and we work with them to develop their business idea.
Those who were chosen meet at 51 Labs co-working space in the heart of Iraqi Kurdistan. About a third of the country's more than 2 million internally displaced people have sought refuge in this semi-autonomous region.
Every single person you meet here has been affected by conflict in one way or another, but on a day-to-day basis, it's pretty stable. You know, I take taxis at night, I go walking down the street. You know, it's a place where you can live a totally normal life, have a really high quality of life, but also stuff happens here and you never know what's going to happen.
In January, while Alice was out of the country, an American drone strike inside Iraq killed a top Iranian general. And then, Iran struck an American base near Iraqi Kurdistan's major airport.
Our teams here were really frightened and worried.
Alice wasn't sure she'd be able to return. But she did, and she plans to continue bringing investors from around the world to see the opportunities. Like Caroline Lewis, who works at a venture capital firm in Oregon and visited Iraq in October 2018.
All my friends and my family was like, oh my gosh, you're going over there. Everything's gonna be bombed out. You know, it's gonna be so conservative. When I got there, I was like, yeah, I'm completely safe. It's fine.
It's a huge population. There's pretty good purchasing power, and so I think more and more international investors see Iraq as a really interesting place.
An interesting place where enabling entrepreneurs could have a big impact. The CEO of Meetup.com is a mentor for 51 Labs.
Being an entrepreneur is hard. It's incredibly hard. Being an entrepreneur in Iraq is even more difficult. What they are doing is being able to build this ecosystem of community, of investors, of finance, and put it all together and all that infrastructure. That's something that could change Iraq for potentially generations to come.
But there are some serious challenges. According to Iraq's central bank, as many as 93% of adults still did not have a bank account in 2017, settling transactions with cash. And up until last year, only 11% of the country had access to the internet, which is one of the reasons why 19-year-old Ranja is marketing his online meal delivery business by hosting in-person food tastings.
So what is it exactly?
Soy meat.
Soy meat.
Yeah. Plant-based meat.
That's good. That's tasty.
Ranja, who dropped out of high school, desperately wants to win the final pitch contest. But he has competition. Many of them Iraqi women. At least 50% of those accepted to 5-1's incubator are female.
You have to think of a way of how to show your business better than the other ones.
Women leaving our programs face more obstacles in launching their businesses than the men do, which is not surprising. But a lot of this is, reputational concerns that if you go and have a business meeting and it's just you and a man, that will affect your reputation. Or if you have to go get supplies from the bazaar or from market areas and you're going alone as a woman, that will affect your reputation.
According to the World Bank, only 14% of women in Iraqi Kurdistan were employed in 2015.
I brought a new t-shirt, a shirt, so you can print my design that I sent you before.
24-year-old Noor Mohsen is trying to launch an eco-friendly clothing brand called Lariksa.
Larix is a scientific name of a pine tree. The goal of the brand is to sell products in plant tree after we have a goal of sales.
Noor, who grew up in Soleimani, presented her pitch last November.
Through technology, we will try to help our environment.
The startup incubator gets hundreds of applications, but accepted only 16 entrepreneurs last year.
Usually this kind of ideas is really good, but it will be viral for 1 month or 6 months. So what's your plan to make it stay forever?
While Noor doesn't have all the answers just yet, she managed to impress the judges, winning an $18,000 grant. Ranja did not get any funding, but plans to keep going anyway. As for 5-1 Labs, the nonprofit is winning international awards and learning some lessons along the way.
We as an incubator have learned to be a lot more patient because stuff happens. We are in Iraq. Businesses aren't just going to start in 4 months, or maybe they will and then something will happen and it will take some time to get back on it. But I think what we've seen over 2.5 years is that people that we thought had decided not to be entrepreneurs took some time and then started doing it again.